Hello there, hi, I'm Dennis. In today's video, we're going to install Arch, but we're going to install Arch 32. And we're going to install Arch 32 on this Dell XPS400 right here. Okay, we'll get that out of the way, bring up the website. If you do a web search on the Dell XPS400, it's going to be tough. I wasn't able to find a whole lot, even the service tag at Dell. They said they couldn't find it, and I hadn't called them or anything. I don't really care. Linux works on it, and that's all I care about. Here's the specs on it. This is not the right model number. Here is what they're listing, and mine is DXP051. It's a little bit of difference here. We see we've got a Pentium D. Mine's a Pentium 4. From what I understand, there's not that much difference. The speed it operates at and all the rest of this information here, let me make it bigger, is correct. Cache memory, the RAM. When it was sold, they installed Windows XP Media Center on it. It only came with 1 gigabyte of RAM. It'll hold 4 gigabytes of RAM, but it will only recognize about 3 point something like 5% of that. Also, it will not run Windows 10 because there's a problem with what's called PAE, some sort of environment that won't allow the computer to recognize anything over 4 gigs of RAM. Because of the PAE thing, you cannot install Windows 10 on this machine. Otherwise, the guy wouldn't have got rid of it probably, because he could have just went with Windows 10. But when he told me he couldn't install Windows 10 on it, I said, okay, and I brought it home, and of course, first thing I tried to do was install Windows 10 on it. It said it wouldn't install at all. It said PAE was not supported. That's where we're at. So today we're going to install 32-bit Arch Linux 32 onto that Dell XPS 400. If you'll come to this website right here, it's archlinux32.org, almost archlinux.org, but 32.org. You'll see that it's set up almost exactly like Arch Linux is. When you type in, my first search, when I went to Google and typed in Arch Linux 32 about a month or so now ago, everything I read said it was not supported no more since December 12, 2017. That's one of the reasons why I've never tried Arch 32 before, because everything I read said it was not available. Didn't dawn on me to go to look for the website. I was sitting in BDLL show one night and they mentioned Arch 32, and I thought, wow. So it's talking about ending support. However, you can go back on their webpage here, you can see it. The latest news has been updated February the 22nd, which was just like Saturday. If you click on the download up here, you'll see that this current release is February the 1st, just like regular Arch Linux. Some other things about the page here, that Arch 32, if you want to find out if your machine, the architecture is supported, you click there and it'll open this up. You CAT or cat/proc/CPU info, and it'll show you a big long list of what is supported in your processor. This one here is what we got, a Pentium 4, and all of these are in there. So I did look, and they are in there, and so it installed great. This is the mirror list. You'll come here and click on Mirror List Updater. You'll see these mirrors, and there's maybe 22, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 20, and this one says you got to resolve to open the NIC for this one to even work. So 20, 21 if you're lucky. That'll come into play. I'll show you during the installation. We'll check the pacman.d mirror list, and you'll see that these mirrors haven't been updated since 2017. Doesn't matter to me, apparently, because they worked, and they worked well. Okay, go back to Arch Linux. Like I said, you do a Google and everything says it's ended. And I thought it was interesting on this. What caught my interest on this, it said it was FOSS, pre-operating software. Near the bottom, it was right here, near the bottom of his post here, he says, one of the reasons why I love Arch Linux. What it is the community apparently got together and decided to continue 32-bit. Anyway, if you click right here, it'll say 11 reasons why Linux is better than Windows. And I read through those. You ought to as well. So that's going to do it. We're going to install Arch 32 on a Dell XPS400. Minimize this. I didn't mean to close you out. I just meant to minimize you. Thank you. Okay, so that does it. We'll get started. Okay, so here we go. We're going to be installing Arch 32 on real hardware. We're going to be doing it on a Dell XPS400. Let me explain a little bit about the PAE thing and the conflict about Windows 10. PAE stands for Physical Address Extension. And sometimes people call it a page address extension. So physical address or page address extension. It was created or introduced by Pentium. For some reason, they decided that they were going to do this, and when they did, unless you have PAE enabled, the computer will not recognize any more than 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's the reason why this computer cannot put Windows 10 on it, even though minimum system requirements for Windows 10 is 1 gig. I'm not sure why, but it sure messed up this machine. It's my benefit. Thank you very much for doing that, because now I'm going to enjoy Linux on your Dell XPS400. First thing we got to do is ping any website or web server of your choice. Google works real fine. Alright, so we're online. Now we got to set our time, date, CTL, all one word, space, set, hyphen, NTP, space, true. Hit enter. You can up arrow that command back and backspace all of the set NTP out. Hit enter, and you'll see that it has set the time. Now we got to partition our disk. Exactly the same method. CF disk space slash device. And that device is SDA. Hit enter. When you format a drive using Windows program to do it, they leave something behind, because there it is right there, a little partition. So I'm going to get rid of that right off the bat. First thing I'm going to do is give it some swap space. It does have 4 gigs of RAM, but it doesn't recognize it, so I'm going to help it out and give it the same amount. 4 gigabytes swap space. Go up there, 1 for me there. Select enter for swap space, arrow key down. Get to the rest of that space. And I'm going to give this a 100 gig root partition. Enter. primary, hit enter, slide over to bootable, hit enter. You'll see the asterisk appear underneath boot, second column there. Arrow down to get the rest of that space. We're going to give it all the rest of it, hit enter. We're ready to write. So we're going to slide over to the right and hit enter. It will prompt you to either type yes or no. I'm satisfied with my partition layout. Select yes or type yes and hit enter. Quit. Control L will clean the screen. Get back down so it helps to focus a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to create some file systems. First one I like to go ahead and get out of the way is SDA1, and I'm going to make that swap. First thing we're going to do is mkswap space on device SDA1. So that would be /dev/SDA1. Now we'll turn it on, swap on, one word, space, /device/SDA1. Now our swap is up. Now we're going to make a file system of a .ext4 space. We're going to make that on /device/SDA2. This prompt says there's already a file system there. I want to go ahead and override it. And of course I said yeah, which I found unusual because when I formatted this drive, I told it to leave it as unallocated space. Windows lied. Something lied. I up arrowed that command back. I backspaced the 2 out of it and replaced it with a 3, and I hit enter. And now it's creating a file system of an ext4 on our home partition. Now we need to mount those. Attach them. So MOUNT space /DEV/SDA2. We're going to mount that to /MNT. Now we're going to make a directory for our home partition, mkdir space /MNT/home, HOME. Hit enter. Now we're going to mount that partition, so mount space /device/SDA3 space /MNT/home. Now at this point we would normally edit our mirror list. If you're following in the Arch Wiki, at this point they recommend that you edit your mirror list. This is Arch 32 or Arch Linux 32. I'm fixing to show you why I recommend you do not mess with your mirror list unless you know what you're doing and have some idea. So I'm on nano Etsy Pacman D /mirror list, and this is what our mirrors are. In the intro, I showed you the web page, and it's exactly the same. It has not been updated since 2000. Actually, this one says it updated 2020. Very nice. In January. But you'll see that the addresses are still the same. First time I installed Arch 32, I wasn't aware of this, and I ran Reflector. I gave it the protocol HTTPS, and I also specified my country, United States. And if you look at that list, you'll notice there wasn't but 2 that was in the United States that had the HTTPS protocol. So we're going to skip the mirror list and go into Packstrap. So now we're going to get blurry until I get toward the end of this command here, Packstrap command. We're going to go ahead and get our base devel, Linux LTS for our kernel, Linux firmware, which this being an older machine, it's going to need all the help it can get, I think. Nano, network manager. We need an applet, so we're going to get network -manager -applet. This command will get clear toward the end of it there, so that's why I didn't cut it out. Sure is aggravating though. Yeah, the PAE thing, it turned out to be in my favor because the guy got rid of his computer because he couldn't put Windows 10 on it and he knew Windows 7 support was going to get out of it. The books say that this came with Windows XP, but it actually came with Windows XP Media Edition. That's what was on it when I got it. I took that off and put Windows 7 on it just to see if it would load, and loaded it with no problem. But then I tried to upgrade to Windows 10 and ran into that PAE wall. Okay, so now we're clear. We've got the Network Manager Applet, USB utils, GB file system, NTFS-3G, DOS-FS tools, mTools, ManDB, ManPages, SNail, Perl, Pacman Contrib, MD, ADM, Git, GIT, WGET, wget, Yagil, Bash completion. I believe that'll do it for now. As I've proven, you can go ahead and get everything right now. I'm not going to do that because it's a 32-bit system, old Dell computer. This thing is made in 2006. That's 14 years ago. So far, it's loading right up. This computer weighs about 40 pounds. I'm kidding. I've got a Dell Precision T3500, and it weighs as much as that does. They both weigh about the same. I couldn't believe it, as a matter of fact. It's a heavy-duty machine. But why it came with Media Center on it, the weight of the machine makes you think it would be in a commercial use, but probably not with the Media Center on it. And it was pretty fast, too. I played with it for, I don't know, a couple hours one day when I first got it home, just to see what was on it and what worked and what didn't, and everything was working. Felt free to do what I wanted to with it. It does have a SATA, too. That was, if I'm not mistaken, and that's just about the time, not much later after they started using SATA instead of PATA. Okay, so I cut out all of that. That was the rest of the install of the packstrap command, and you can see at the bottom there it says packstrap, so it's telling us it completed that. Gives us some more details there. Okay, so we're fixing to blur out here after I get to locale.gen, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to generate a FS tab, genFS tab, all one word, space, hyphen, lowercase p, space, hyphen, uppercase u, space, /mnt, to greater than chevron, space, /mnt, /etc, /fs tab. So we're going to append and replace anything in XFCE4 tab. I catted that, CAT, and then MNT, XFCE4 tab, and that shows you they're there. We got swap, root, and home. All of them have UUIDs. Now it's time to get over into our hard drive, our actual system that we just installed. So we're going to do that by going arch, ARCH hyphen, chroot, CHROOT, space, /MNT, space, /bin bash. Okay, so you can see that the terminal prompt changed. We're in our hard drive now at this point, so the first thing we're going to do is set our local time. Command would be ln space -sf, all lowercase by the way, space /user, usr /share /zone info, all one word, and in my case it's /America /Chicago space /etc /local time, all one word. Sure type that correct, hit enter. Now we got to set our hardware clock, so that's HWCLOCK, hardware clock, space, tac or hyphen SYSTOHC, space, hyphen UTC. Go ahead and hit enter. Now I'm going to do my little pacman.conf tweak. So we can see Pac-Man when he runs across the screen, devouring all the little bits. So I'm going to uncomment color, I'm going to uncomment total download, I'm going to create a space, and I'm going to put in there, I love candy, all one word, capitals on the I, capital on the L, capital on the C. I'm also going to go down and uncomment verbose package list. And I'm going to scroll down and show you, but this is being 32-bit, the multi-lib repository is already enabled. Like that was some surprise. But I had to go look just to see. So I'm going to Control O to write it out and enter to confirm, Control X to get out of there. We're going to do our locale.gen, and I'm fixing to cut out because it just went totally blurry right after I got into the locale.gen directory right here. And when I come back in, we'll already have run this. I've echoed it, created locale-gen, created my locale.gen, then I echoed language English US-UTF-8 into etsy.locale.conf. Then we set up a host name, and I gave it capital DH. And then we set up our hosts plural, the 127 addresses in there. Now come out, we created a password to the root, also created a user, added a user. Now I'm doing the password for that user. And now we're going to give the user Dennis, or your user, some user privileges so he can run updates without problems. So right under root, I'm going to type my name or the username, space, capital ALL equals, parentheses, capital ALL, in parentheses, space, capital ALL. Then I'm going to uncomment where it says to allow members of the group wheel to execute any command. Control O to write it out, enter to confirm, Control X to get out of it. Okay, so now we're going to get some extra, or get some grub. It's time to get grub. Install grub, and we're going to config grub. I'm kind of excited about using ARC32 just to see what is available to it. And really surprised that it's still supported, does updates and everything. Okay, so that completed. Now we're going to grub install. So it would be grub-install space --target equals i386-PC We're going to do that to space/dev/sda space and go -- recheck. Now, putting in this target, go ahead and putting its target in there is probably not necessary, but it will not hurt. And you can see where it says installing, it's installing it for i386 platform. Well, you'd see that anyway if you didn't include the target in your grub install command. All right, grub make config -o boot grub cfg. Well, I see a mistake. It's grub make config mk config. Hit enter. At this point, we could reboot right back into our Arch Linux, but we would have no desktop environment. I'm going to enable the network manager so I don't forget, which I have done, and you have to root back into the system and do it at that point. And I would rather just go ahead and do it now. So that's systemctl, all one word, space, enable, space, capital NETWORK, capital MANAGER, all one word. So now I'm going to check for updates since we're through. There is none. So now it's time to get some stuff that we're going to need for our desktop environment. First thing we're going to get is the Xorg stuff, or X stuff. So we got Xorg, Xorg drivers, Xorg -kill, xkill, Xorg -xclock, Xorg -apps, apps, Xorg -xinit, hit enter. That's how the verbose package list stacks it up rather than putting it all in one paragraph where you have to really dig to find it. It's not near as useful in the installation here because you can't scroll up. If you can, I don't want to even try, but if you're in your regular terminal in your live environment, you'd be able to scroll up and see all of your packages, which I like a lot better. You can also see it's keeping a running download size. And also, if you'll notice on the far right of your screen, barely getting the percentage sign, and that's because the settings on my monitor need to be readjusted. I had to adjust them in order to even see as much as I see here. I'll adjust that as soon as we get a little further along here so that we can see the entire screen. Actually, I'm going to do it as we're booting into our desktop. So it's not necessarily so important right here, but when we get into our desktop, you will definitely want to see the whole screen. I just don't want to mess with it right now and take a chance of messing up this install. So now we're getting all of our X stuff. And if you wanted to, you could test that by typing in start X, all just one word. And that will open up 3 screens showing you that it will work. You just type exit in one of those screens and it will close out and you'll be back to your terminal prompt. So, okay, so let's get some stuff now. Pacman -S XFCE4 space XFCE4 -goodies XDG -user dyers space light DM space light DM -GTK greeter light -GTK greeter settings. And I'm not sure, but we're going to want an archiver, and I'm not sure, but I think X archiver is already there, and if it is, it'll just reinstall it. Or I think it comes in with XFCE, in other words. And I already know, since I'm doing XFCE, that I'm going to need these sound drivers and such in order to have my sound working right off the bat. So it's either do it now or wait till I get into the live environment, but I would rather just get it over with so when I do boot up, my theory is it's faster now because it's not system resources are not being taken up trying to keep the live environment going. So it's free to use any and all resources available right now. That's just my theory. Okay, so now we're going to get our XFCE stuff. And it's only a little under 67 meg download, 315 megabyte install size. I say one thing, those mirrors work pretty good considering they're committed. I mean, they apparently hadn't been off in years, or down, or changed, or added to, appended, whatever. But they're reasonably fast. You can't complain about the speed it's going. So I can send the megabytes for the most part on the download size. So 67, and we're up to 23. Always try to watch what comes in. That way I know not to try to install it when I get into my live environment. So yeah, this guy said he bought this computer brand new. And had been using it this whole time. And I kind of believe him. I don't have any reason not to believe him. But the support for Windows 7 scared him. He knew, somebody mentioned that he knew he could upgrade to Windows 7, but he knew that support was fixing to run out too. And he must have knew about the PAE thing and not being able to install Windows 10 on it. The guy must have been pretty smart. But I got his computer and I'm putting Linux on it and it runs fine. As long as Arch don't give up the support for Arch32, this will be a nice computer, I think. I'm a little excited about running this machine, having it available to run and use and investigate, see what's all on it, what can be done on it. In its day, it was a nice little computer. In fact, I seen the price, it said $1,600. And I couldn't totally confirm that price, but that's what I saw on one of them. Now, let's enable our LightDM. So we're going to say systemctl, all one word, space, enable, and then LightDM, period, service. Hit enter. Okay, so now we can boot into our system, be greeted by the desktop manager LightDM. We got XFCE for desktop. I just hit Control D, which is the same thing as typing in exit. Now I'm going to umount, UMOUNT, space, hyphen capital R, space, /MNT. When that's through, I'm going to hit shut down and then yank the flash drive out and then reboot. Could just restart. To me, it's just more convenient to shut it down. Alright, so I'm fixing to do something about that screen. Even that side of focus. Tell it to auto adjust. I bet that'll help. Yeah, much better. There's our login screen. Can't really see it, but it's got my name there as a user. I'm going to give it my password and hit enter. We got a mouse on our desktop. That's always a good thing. There's our XFCE desktop. Very nice. And we got sound right out of the box, even though we had to install the software that we needed and the programs we needed. That's okay. So it comes in pretty bare. There's nothing really available. I don't see much differences. In fact, if you look at this, I'm looking at this, and I don't see any difference at all right now between this and a 64-bit system. Let's go to the settings. They're all the same. Let's see, I think I'm going to do the task manager here. See what resources are doing. Not too bad. Got under 10% CPU. It's a fresh boot, so it's still no telling what it's doing in the background. Memory is only 8%. That's pretty good. There's our network manager, applet. So that's going to do it for this video until I can get it. I'm going to get it tweaked and arranged and see what works on it. See what I can make work and what I can't make work. If I find anything worth talking about, I'll sure make a video on it. I thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.